because I just the script was hilarious, and you know, like I said, my dream was to be on those shows, which I ended up when they did a new cast. I forget what year it would have been, maybe 2002, 2003. They did a new all that cast.
Was that with Drake and Josh and?
No, that cast was.
I know they did the second.
Yeah,
the second round.
It was like Chelsea and Lisa and Kyle, whatever. So they asked me to like be the one to host the first all that of that new season where I supposedly find all the kids to be the kids. But like, so I actually got to like in a weird way fulfill that dream of being on all that.
Right.
So yeah, it was just a weird kind of storyline. But I knew doing Big Fat Liar is what I was excited about, and I love that. You know, I don't know the last time I saw it, but I remember watching it when I was older and going like, "That's a great movie. Like it's a fun kid movie. Like you know, you can't not like it. You know, as a kid. You know."
What about the relationship with Hilary Duff? Because did you on Lizzie first and then you did?
Yeah. So
Cody Banks?
Hilary Duff was probably one of my first friends when I moved to LA to film Malcolm. So, because like I think I met her before the show had even aired. That we were filming the show. There used to be the Oakwood Apartments. I don't know if you remember those, like in the Burbank area, and like every kid actor was there. You know, almost to the point where like I didn't want to stay there because I didn't want to be like one of the millions of kids who stayed at Oakwood. But all my friends lived there, so I would always go there every single day. So I didn't let my mom let us live there, but like I got dropped off there every day to hang out with my friends. But like, so Hillary lived there, everyone lived there. So like we became really, really good friends. We had a great relationship for a long time. Then she asked me to do Lisa McGuire, which I was like, yeah, you know, obviously I played myself. You know what I mean? There's another story that I've never told anybody. I don't know if I want to tell it, but maybe I will. Been a long time. So I was on the set of Lizzie McGuire, and I was in Hillary's dressing room, and her mom was there, and her mom, you know, was I'm gonna say the epitome of a stage mom. Momager. Okay. She was intense. Hillary was so cool. You know, we had an awesome relationship, but her mom was like super intense. You know, and my mom was the opposite. Like when I was on set, like my mom would be there if she had to be, but she would be like in the corner, didn't want to be in the way, didn't want to make anybody mad, made sure I did what I needed to do, and you know, like kind of more hands on. And I've actually never told this story, and I might get in trouble for it, but I don't care. I'm 40.
I can say it after.
So her mom was like, "Do you know what you're doing this summer? What are you doing this summer?" And I go, "Oh, I'm filming this movie where I'm playing like a junior James Bond. It's called Agent Cody Banks." And she's like, "Is there a girl that could be like Hillary? That would be good for Hillary?" And I was like, "Yeah." I go, "But I don't know." You know. Meanwhile, like I knew in my contract, I had to say who the girl was going to be. So you know, but I didn't say that to her. You know, I'm like, I don't know. I think they're talking about some people. And this is another thing I've also never said. They had mentioned Kristen Keurig. She was on Smallville. Kristen Keurig. I don't know if that's her last name. And for some reason, in my mind, when I read the script, I pictured her as the girl. So I really thought that was what it was going to be. So I'm like, yeah, let's do this movie. The next day, I'm not kidding. The next morning, so we were filming that day on Liz McGuire. The next morning, I show up to the set. I go into her dressing room and her mom's like, guess what? We're going to be spending the summer together. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, because we filmed that in Vancouver as well. She's like, we're going to be up in Vancouver together. I'm like, oh, what's Hillary filming? Like, should we film a movie up there too? That's awesome. We get to hang out. We'll have dinners. You know what I mean? She's like, no, she's doing Cody Banks with you. And I looked at her and I went, no, she's not. She's like, no, yeah, she is. And she's like, they signed the contract last night. And I'm like, the movie you knew nothing about yesterday, you signed. Is that possible? Like, it's not humanly possible. So like, I call my agents and I'm like, hey, I'm just wondering. I wasn't mad. It was just like shocking.
Because you had to say.
I had to say, I'm like, they didn't ask me. But so supposedly, calls were made, and they knew that Hillary and I were really close, and I was filming her show, so they just assumed
it was fine.
it was fine. So, needless to say, I wasn't thrilled about it, and not because I didn't want it to be Hillary, just because
the studio went around you. Did you put that in your contract because you wanted to make sure it was like your project?
No, it's just I was fortunate at that point in my career where I could have the pull, some say in that. You know what I mean? Because I wanted it to feel not authentic. Like it's not like I had a crush on the girl. You know what I mean? Like I just had a certain image or a certain vision. You know, or whatever. We were gonna audition girls. We were gonna figure all that out. So I I don't know how much I want to say. I've already said way too much. But I literally they came to Vancouver. Me and Angie Harmon became best friends. Like, oddly, like I think she was 30 at the time, which in my head seemed so much older than me. Which now I'm like, oh, she was a baby too, right? But I was 16 or whatever. We had such an amazing time on the set, and I was very sad when Hillary's mom would come on set. I'm being honest. You know what I mean? I'm old enough to where I realize I don't mind people knowing the truth. And if I told you I've never talked to Hillary since the last day of filming, I've not said one word to her since then. So that's the truth. That no one knows about my history.
But you guys were good on set filming and everything.
Yeah, I mean it was
professional.
Yeah, whoa. Yeah. There was awkwardness because maybe I left out there was a small dating element. You know what I mean? So there was also that element that wasn't happening anymore. Right. You know what I mean? So it was awkward because of that. You know what I mean? But no, yeah. I look back at it now and I go like, what a dumb like. I regret not just continuing to be friends with her. Like we were friends. We had a great friendship for such a long time, and I let her mom like it pissed me off. You know what I mean? But I got a Lotus Esprit V8 twin turbo for accepting her.
Do you still have it?
No.
Oh. How many cars have you gone through? If the two of you rekindled the friendship on an episode of something,
I would love to catch up with her. I would love to even talk about that because I'm sure she doesn't know any of that happened. Probably, yeah. But no, I don't know. How many cars have I gone through? Over 100. I don't know. I know when I was like, this is gonna make me sound like a tool because I hate myself for it. But when I was 16 or 17, I had 38 cars at one time.
Is there footage of that?
It was before, there was no phones back then.
But no one even wanted to show on
I'll
that?
say this.
Like a Pit My Ride?
I was so fortunate, I think, that the height of my fame and career were pre-camera phones and pre-social media and pre-all that. Not because I did bad things, but because I got to like live my life the way I wanted, and nobody really got to see it. Like we're now like everybody knows everything.
I mean, even I'm crying.
I'm telling stories I never told.
It's crazy.
Why?
If you had a memoir or a book of some sorts, it'd be insane. It'd shatter.
The problem with
Have you thought about it? Have you been approached?
no, I haven't actually. I never have, but I think it would be hard for me because I do have a hard time sometimes distinguishing, and this don't discredit my story I just told or any of the stories I've told. I have a hard time sometimes distinguishing reality and dreams because I've done so much that like I don't even believe I've done the things I've done. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even feel like it was me. Like it was like almost like an out of body experience or like a past life.
Because it's moving so fast.
That's the thing. I think it's because of that. I think I did so much at such a young age. Like even now, like this year has been a blur because I don't ever stop moving. And when you're an actor, this is something I think I came up with the the last year, because there's been some discussion about my memory, because some stories came out about memory issues. And as an actor, you take on a script, a role, and someone's emotion, and someone's problems, and someone's argument, or someone's happiness, or someone's whatever, and you do it for that day or for that hour or two, and then you forget it, and then you get another emotion, or you go back to your life, or whatever. So for so long, since I was 8 years old, I've had to like pretend to do things and be things, and then forget it. And unfortunately, I can do that with a lot of my real life too. Like I do these amazing things, I do these things, or even when I do races. I just raced on Friday in Richmond, and it's Tuesday, right? So 3 days ago I did the race, and I'm thinking back, and I'm like, I think I can remember like 2 or 3 laps of the 250. You know what I mean? Because like my brain just kind of like, because I have to do notes for my engineers and stuff, and I was on the plane going like, what happened in stage 2? What you know, where like other drivers can literally remember every single lap, every single time they pass something or what they saw. Like I don't have that. Like my brain just kind of like does it in the moment and goes to attack and then focuses on the next.
At this point in your life, do you think that was because of acting?
I think so. I think it's also because I just did too. Not, I'm not saying too much. I did too much at a young age.
That's probably how you channeled it.
Yeah. So, you know, when you're used to like flying all around the world at 13 and going on, you know, these crazy shows and getting to meet your favorite stars, and I was a huge Clippers fan, and I went to every Clippers game for 8 years, and I was like 15, and the coach Alvin Gentry at the time signed to be my guardian, and I went on the team plane and flew to a road like that. No way, like you know, like it's too much to take in young. You know what I mean? Like, so you know, like